don't need to cry now. On the count of 3.
1, 2, 3. Cry or I'll kill you.
Cry.
I don't have a problem crying.
It makes Fidel Castro
That
look like
blows
a
my mind.
Democrat. I mean, a democracy. Right? Yeah.
What they do in the
Thank you. Thank you.
Dreams come
Is North Korea the only recognized country as a dictator? You know, Cuba,
no, there's a
not.
few others. This guy, and what he does, he has
California also.
You can take it.
Yeah.
Choir today.
Hey, what about Texas?
Hey,
a great song.
Yeah, this is Vince Vance and the Valiants.
yes, he's from Tyler, Texas.
Enough with the Texas.
This is Camel Country, and we brought in a guest DJ to help us spin the Christmas tunes.
He's gonna rock the mic.
We apparently we're playing the right ones. So, ladies and gentlemen, Senator John McCain is on.
Thanks, Tim and Willy and everybody in the whole gang, and congratulations on your continued success. And I'm glad to see the John McCain bobblehead doll here.
Yes.
You just
Yeah.
dusted it off. Still got a little dust on it from just brought it out.
What did you think of that? Because most of the athletes, when their bobblehead comes out, they have a problem with what it looks like. What did you think of your coyote bobblehead?
Listen, I was so pleased the fact that they would do it. I didn't care. You know, when you get to be my age, it doesn't matter so much.
Well, I told Tim I thought it looked a little bit more like Glenn Beck.
Oh God! Here we go again. What a shot! What a shot! Way to start off the day.
That's what we do.
Actually, I'm trying to think who that does really look like. Not me, but anyway.
There it is.
I've got my coyote shirt on and this bobblehead doll. And by the way, the reason why they did that was Military Appreciation
Exactly,
Night.
yep.
And could I ask our listeners, you know, if you're really looking for something to do, and I know it's expensive, but go to a Coyotes game. We really should be supporting them. They're a hard-working team. They got a great captain in Shane Doan. They're blue-collar guys, and they go out there and they put it on the line every night. And
Yeah.
you know, I watch every one of their games, and they go to these other cities. The arena is packed. People are yelling and screaming. Let's get out and support them.
Yeah.
They supported us, made a big donation on behalf of the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital last week. So we're definitely into we got the Coyote Pokey, the Hokey Pokey.
That's right. We're down with the Elks.
And the Cards are doing great.
Yes.
And so, and the D-backs are going to have a great team next year. You know, I went out to dinner the other night with Ryan Roberts, Tatman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's a great guy.
Is he really?
I'm telling you, he is a wonderful guy.
Did he try to talk you into getting a tattoo?
No,
American flag?
not yet.
Oh, man.
But, I must say, one of my sons, who is in the Marine Corps, has several.
Okay.
Not overjoyed. We're all patriotic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good.
Ryan Roberts, Tatman, I'm telling you, he's a classic example of a guy with not a whole lot of talent, but a lot of desire.
That's it.
Who's really done very well. And he also listens to Camel Country.
Does he
He's,
really?
Oh, yeah.
he's from Texas.
Tap
Yeah.
band. All right.
Where's he from in
I
Texas?
think Houston.
Yeah.
I think actually, I think it's outside of Houston. So but I know he.
Longview, Nacogdoches?
He went to junior college in Dallas, I think. But anyway, he's a really a good guy.
Senator McCain, you're here, and just real quick, because you're here, we have to ask about this payroll tax situation. What is the chance now that it's going to get?
It'll get done, but Republicans have hurt themselves.
Yeah.
They've hurt themselves by not getting together and having a united front and extending this payroll tax. Look, people, it's $40 a week to some people. Some people, $40 a week is a lot of money.
It's
It
a lot of
could be
money.
as much as $1,000 or $1,500 in some other cases. And we Republicans have mishandled it. We've got to get together quick and get this thing passed. And I would like to see it for a year. But whatever it is, right now we are hurting our chances to regain control of the Senate and elect a president.
There it is. All right. Now, having
Enough of that.
dealt with that,
It's always darkest before it's totally black.
I want you to tell us what Christmas song we should play because we've been playing some, some.
We were talking about some of our favorites. I mentioned the Chipmunks. You
Yes.
know, that's one of the
That's
really
good.
clever ones. Could I just tell you a really quick story? On Christmas, a long time ago, I was in a cell by myself in North Vietnam, and it was cold in Hanoi that Christmas, and it was pretty bleak. And every cell had a loudspeaker in it that they would play propaganda, anti-war stuff, and all that. Sometimes for as long as hours a day, but. Anyway, that night it was cold, everything, and so guess what? They played some Christmas songs, and the last song that they played was "I'll Be Home for Christmas."
Oh, rotten bastard!
It wasn't the most exhilarating night of my life. And
So now, do you hate that song now, or what?
several years later, after keeping us in solitary confinement and 2 or 3 to a cell, we were put together, about 20 of us, and it was just before Christmas. We had a guy who was the Air Force Academy Glee Club and choir director. We had guys with great voices, and so we had our first Christmas service that we celebrated.
Wow.
And the North Vietnamese had let me copy from a Bible, and so it was really beautifully done. And so after we had finished the service, we had him sing "I'll Be Home."
By the way,
when we sang that, people were not sad. People were so happy. Those guys in that cell were so happy that we were together and being able to worship together. And it is a Christmas I will never, ever forget.
That's awesome. What a great story.
Yeah. Can I tell you that when you I don't hear you speak much about the captivity and that whole ordeal in your life, but when you do, it gives me goosebumps because it's such an amazing thing that you went through and Stockdale and all of these heroes.
You got to remember, it doesn't take a lot of talent to get shot down. I was able to intercept a surface air missile with my own airplane.
That's good.
No mean feat, as you know.
You dropped it. You fumbled it. Oh, well. Good for you. All right, Senator McCain is here. We're going to hear his favorite Christmas song next, and then we've got our Kim Jong-il song to play for you, sir. All right, coming up on the camel.
This report is being brought to us by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Northern is still closed because of that rollover accident at 43rd Avenue. Then eastbound on the 10 at 7th Avenue was a crash. Also, look out in Mesa. There's a ladder in the road inbound on the 202 at Wrecker. In times like these, when gas prices are through the roof, you might think twice about buying car insurance, but you get caught and the massive fines and penalties will cost you way more. So in other words, state minimum coverage from Safe Auto could actually save you money. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO, state minimum coverage, maximum savings.
All right, we always talk about TV shows. Have you watched Homeland?
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a
it's
good
one of
show,
the
isn't
best,
I called it, didn't I? The bomb didn't go off.
I don't
It's
want to
gotten
know.
all kinds of awards, and that, I'm trying to think of her name.
Claire
Claire
Danes?
Danes, yeah.
Yes.
She's a hell of an actress. And also the guy that plays
The Marine,
yeah,
Brody.
Brody, yeah.
what an interesting show.
It really is.
And it kind of fills the gap, the void left by 24. I was so sad when 24
Yeah,
ended.
by the way, the old version of The Manchurian Candidate,
Yes,
which is kind of iffy. Well, the newer version wasn't that good.
I
but
agree.
The older version.
Frank Sinatra and
Yeah.
Angela Lansbury.
Yeah.
And Angela Lansbury, she'd come in, and her son, and she would turn the card over, and when the Red Queen came up, bang,
Yeah.
he was immediately ready to carry out their orders.
Right.
And, I mean, it was really, but one of the reasons why that movie was so believable is that after Korea, there was 36 American POWs that went to live in China rather than come back to
Wow.
the United States. Now, they all eventually came back over time.
Oh,
but
really?
That's where the term brainwashing came from.
Really?
They would take these prisoners and lecture them for 12, 14 hours a day after day after day. Some of them didn't have high school education, so
They're
were
buying it.
They were brainwashed.
That sounds a little bit like our staff meetings.
And clearly, in Homeland, he was
Well, that traumatic event of the child that he was nurturing died.
Yeah.
That makes it a believable type
I
of
agree.
situation
I agree.
that he was teaching him English and yeah. But
It's a great tune. I like Boardwalk Empire too.
You know, I haven't seen that. I've heard a lot of people talk about it.
That's good. And Hell on Wheels is it's only okay if you happen to see it.
I've not seen that one either.
It's about the railroad in the West.
Oh, okay.
It's a fairly good. I don't watch any of the Hardly Network.
I don't either. I'm much like you. I watch that kind of stuff. I like no commercials.
On demand, yeah, I get.
One of the great things that I do all the time is record, and then I can fast forward to
Yeah,
the
it's the
commercial.
best.
You know?
Did we ever talk about, were you a fan of Deadwood?
You know, I wasn't, because one of the reasons why I'm not easily offended, but why does every other word
Oh, I
have
know.
to
That was a
be, have to
really
be the
vulgar
F word?
show.
Why
Yeah,
does
yeah.
every other word?
Yeah.
I mean,
I heard the director though on the.
That's coming from a Navy man, by the way.
Good point. Good point.
Well, he wasn't a
When
sailor.
I was growing up as a kid, if anybody's dad was a sailor or and they
My
all
dad
that
was.
saying cussing like I said, it was true for me in my generation.
and I thought the plot got weaker and weaker. I didn't,
It just kind of-
it kind of disconnected.
I did hear the director say that that was the language of that era in that town because the cattle herders would talk to the cows that way, and that's why the flavor of the language was very, very rough. So.
Have you anybody seen the special on HBO about the Army Navy game? Like Bill
I
Pullman?
was wonderful.
Was it good?
Yeah.
I just saw the commercials for it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, it really is.
Navy
And
won
it's
this year,
time-
right?
Yeah, for the 10th year in a row. And believe it or not, it's time
Who's
Army.
counting?
Oh, by the way,
It's time Army won. It really is. It's time Army won.
Okay.
But they played a good game this year. That's what really counts.
It was a good game.
You know, if it's one-sided, CBS isn't going to pay them.
know.
So they really got to. There was a great story in the Wall Street Journal. In 1944, the #1 team in the country played the #2 team in the country. We were in the middle of a war. It was the Army-Navy game.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And they broadcast it shortwave all over the world. And it was everywhere.
Oh, that's cool.
And Army won, and General MacArthur said, "We stopped the war to listen to your great victory."
That's a great story.
It was a really very touching story. And a bunch of those kids, of course, got killed. Well, I think they said something like 24 of the West Point and Naval County graduates have been killed in Iraq or Afghanistan that played.
Oh, wow.
And in a past Army Navy game.
Wow. Well, all right.
And they're great kids, they really are. You know, and the kids that we nominate, you know, we send kids that they are the highest quality, really.
There you go.
So blue, just thinking over you.
So you're home for the holidays?
Do you think, really, don't you think that's one of the most listened to
It's gotta be.
of all the songs there is about?
Rachel saw the email.
And it sings it beautiful.
He does.
Sorry, I just saw.
And do you believe this story that Irving Berlin wrote
White Christmas.
White Christmas at the Billboard?
I heard that was true.
Yeah.
He also wrote God Bless America. And all of the proceeds from it, he donated to the USA.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
He was an amazing man, very shy.
Okay,
Never
thank
went
you.
out, never socialized, but he sure could write a
You
song.
could write a good
Great.
Christmas song.
Senator, I woke up this morning in a crazy, I don't know why I was thinking about this. Actually, I was thinking about maybe something for the radio station. What is it your sentiment that there's this huge, I don't get the feeling that the troops coming home from Iraq, that it's being there's nothing around it right now.
Well, first of
You
all,
sense that too,
I
Tim?
think that there's a tremendous outpouring. Look at the show. How often do you all talk about
Right.
those who have served? I mean, it's amazing, particularly when you get into country.
Yeah.
People
Hold on,
really.
let's chat about that here real quick. We're about 20 seconds out. Yeah, because somebody else mentioned that.
There's not a lot of media coverage. It's not like, I saw a thing in Wall Street Journal too, a picture of a guy in a RV or whatever. And then,
That is a Senator McCain pick on the show. Legitimate
I
Christmas
don't know,
music.
wonderful songs, and he really shows his range in that.
Yeah.
In that song.
It's a great song, classic.
Hey, we wanted to ask you about this. The the troops are coming home from Iraq, and
Last one's yesterday.
is enough of a big deal being made about it? It sort of seems like there's not a lot of commotion.
Well, I think first of all the tremendous, we were talking about Vietnam and again ancient history, but the difference between the way the Vietnam veteran was treated and the way the veterans are treated now is night and day. Thank God.
Goodness, yeah,
Thank
that's
God.
right.
And that's one of the things I'm so grateful for. The problem with Iraq is that it's coming apart, and we should have left a residual force of troops there to help stabilize the country. Now it's in serious jeopardy of all of it coming apart, and we did lose 4,474 young Americans in that conflict. And I don't want to get political, but President Obama got his nomination because he opposed the war, and Hillary Clinton had supported it. He said he would bring all the troops out. Now all the troops are out. Now he's making campaign spots that say promises kept, and unfortunately Iraq is deteriorating when it didn't have to. And I understand that we want everybody home, but we also got to remember that if Iran and Al-Qaeda are able to gain control in that country, it has serious consequences. Like this president is, quote, leading from behind. Ronald Reagan led from in front. And so, but I do believe that the appreciation and affection, particularly in country, how many country stars have gone to Iraq and Afghanistan and continue to go?
Yeah,
I'll bet you compared to any other form of entertainment, it's really remarkable what the country community has done for the men and women who are serving, and to be very frank, they're the closest to them.
Yeah, yeah.
So, by the way, my friends in the military, the generals and others, tell me that the most appreciated, and they appreciate everybody who comes.
Yeah,
but,
sure.
the ones that really are the country stars. And
Yeah.
so,
Well, I wanted to, real quick before we play this song we wrote about what you tweeted earlier, do you have a favorite horse in the race for the presidential nomination?
I've been kind of staying out of it.
Yeah.
As you know, I wish them well. And
Any
my old
advice for
friend-
them?
No, but another man who ran for president from Arizona was a guy named Morris Udall, and his famous story is he walked into a barber shop in Manchester, New Hampshire, and said, "Hi, I'm Morris Udall from Arizona, and I'm running for president of the United States." And the barber said, "Yeah, we were just laughing about that this morning." So, if I could finally tell you what I've used it a lot, but when I'm not in Arizona, I give a speech, I say, I really want to ask your sympathy for the families of Arizona. Because a guy named Barry Goldwater from Arizona ran for president of the United States. A guy named Morris Udall from Arizona ran for president of the United States. A guy named Bruce Babbitt from Arizona ran for president of the United States. I from Arizona ran for president of the United States. Arizona may be the only state in America where mothers don't tell their children that someday they can go out and be president.
Hey, come on. Hey, you that bad? You came in second.
That's why he doesn't do 2 shows a day. Good?
Oh, man.
You got the silver medal.
Yes, yes. Listen, I want to play this. You tweeted after the leader of North Korea passed away. Exactly, your quote was that he's in a...
He'll join Stalin and Hitler and Gaddafi in a very warm place in hell.
And several others.
And we thought, that's inspiration enough for Tim and Willy. I bet we can write a song about that. We want you to take a listen to our song and give us your thoughts here. Camel Country 108 with Tim and Willy and Senator John McCain.
Well, you know those commie leaders thinking is a little whack. Not even a recent dead one can escape McCain's wisecracks. You're thinking the next guy can't be as bad as all of that, but he could be worse. Man, this guy was so darn ugly, just one look could make you puke. The day after he died, his country started testing nukes. Are they able to attack us? Well, that really doesn't take much of a sleuth. John McCain told us the truth. Kim Jong-il's in hell, in the corner with Hitler and Jeffrey Dahmer and Bin Laden, Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein. Genghis Khan was like a schoolgirl compared to this Kim Jong-il. It's good he's dead, even the devil thinks he's in you.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. That's our number one news smash hit. What do you think?
I'd like to send it over. Maybe they could, they say they're keeping his body on display for 11 days. Maybe they could have that as background music. Come to view his body. I mean, that
Can we re-record it as a dirge? Maybe they can play it at the official.
Or maybe we send it to Brasstown, North Carolina. They can lower the body of Kim Jong-il
Yes.
for New Year's Eve.
Senator, what do
There you go.
you make of these pictures of the people just
Oh, I think it's
lamenting?
hilarious because you know what you never see a tear.
No.
But they all they are. It's hard to describe this society where everything is absolutely totally controlled, and so the more expressions of grief you show, the more loyal you are to the party. And I mean, they say things like a rainbow's appeared and this guy came out of the sky, and I mean, it is. You cannot believe the Orwellian society that exists there. But let me just do one example. The average North Korean is 3 inches shorter than the average South Korean. Why? Because of the diet and the lack of nutrition and the lack of the basic essentials, which has made the South Korean healthier than the North Korean, and they are the same, obviously, ethnic group. I mean, there's 200,000 people in a gulag, in prison, under the conditions which are indescribable. And yet we continue to give food aid to them. And by the way, the food aid doesn't go to the people. It goes to the elite. This guy, and there was an article, by the way, in the Wall Street Journal yesterday or the day before that supposedly this young kid that's a 4-star general is a sadist. I mean, well, that's good news for the people of North Korea. But anyway, life goes on. Life goes on. People that control him can control him are the Chinese.
Just another problem child in the world for us to deal with.
Yes, indeed. And so, but I know that you guys are joining me every day in wishing all of our fellow citizens a very Merry Christmas. And by the way, I guess you're not supposed to say Christmas.
Oh,
We do.
Well, we do.
And holiday, and hope that next year is a better year than last year. People in Arizona have been hurting, the housing crisis and the economy, and let's really hope that next year is better, because this really is the most beautiful place on earth to
It really
live.
is. Yes. And we appreciate a few minutes with you. We hope you have an awesome Christmas, and to Cindy and the whole family, just happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and keep doing the good work, and we can't wait to see you again in 2012.
All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
So,
Senator.
Merry Christmas.
how much money?
It was so good to see you, Senator, as always. Thank you so much for
As
coming on.
always.
Thanks for your
By the way, your buddy Beck has